Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, wherever you happen to be. Welcome to another edition of the Living World of Darkness Rage across New York. The scene is set again where the scenes ought not to be set in places that don't really exist except for within our minds, except for within the veiled constructs that we have gone ahead and made for them. Yes, 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 we find ourselves in a phantasmagoric atmosphere. We find ourselves, much as we did last time, with Miss Cinnamon Harris in a deep and dark wood. In a deep, dark wood. And the first speculation that Miss Cinnamon Harris will find is the deep, deep, and far off howling.
Um, she hears that there are basically two things that go through her mind. First, she shivers a little as the howl kind of pierces through the night, breaking the silence of the night forest. And for a moment after it's died out, there's just the feeling that there is no sounds in this plane. That feeling weighs heavy. She shivers, and then she realizes that she ought not to be afraid. They're her kind, in a way. So she kicks herself forward and starts walking into the direction of the sounds.
Crunch, crunch, crunch on your feet. Crunch, crunch, crunch through the snow. Crunch, 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 crunch. Still very cold here. Too cold.
She'll she'll keep herself warm while blowing in her hands. She watches as her breath kind of drifts into the air, leaving us smoke plumes in front of her face. She actually starts toying with them a little. She tries to imagine that she's feeling warm and that she is wearing enough clothing, and that her fingers aren't starting to become so tingly. She looks around to see if she finds any other traces of anything alive, any footprints or sounds. If it's just her and the howls in the distance in the snowy forest.
You find yourself within this dark and cold forest. You look up into the sky and notice that there is no moon currently out. There is just just a curtain of stars. Actually, they seem to crowd in all around. It'd be quite impossible to push or put any more stars in there. You look around and you don't see anything at first. It's way, way too dark. And then you start to realize you don't really need your eyes to see. Well, you do need it. It's a different vision that you're currently used to. It's not the colorful one. It's more stark and contrast. Actually, that is the word that's currently going through your mind. Contrast, as the world goes ahead and mutes itself from that wonderful, wonderful, colorful spectrum that you're used to, and just goes back to a grayscale. Actually, the contrast is more important than the color because the contrast will give you form, let you see your surroundings, and when you try to observe further, you don't really have to. The contrast is there, but to get information, to sense outside of this new vision that you have, you don't look, you stop, you sense, you smell. You smell something. You smell around you. There's odor everywhere. The forest is alive. It's alive with scent. It's alive with pine. It's alive with damp odor. It's alive with something. Small, small smells that seem to be cowering and much, much larger off in the horizon. And again, there comes that howl. Because you hear the howl. Not only do you hear the howl, you hear every single moving thing within that forest. From the smallest rustling of leaves, brushes passing, the very, very wind is almost deafening, but it's quite pleasant when you are able to hear everything around you.
All these new pardon, all these new impressions, her senses tingling. It really excites her as she feels more one with the forest than she's ever felt before. She tries to control herself, but she bursting with energy at this point, because of the smells and the sounds, and the sight is so much sharper, be it a bit more dull, but so much sharper than it was before. And she starts running. Doesn't really care what direction. She just wants to become more one with this sensation and with this feeling, and with the forest around her, the animals that are in the forest, the snow crunching under her feet, the branches of the lower trees and bushes kind of striking in her face. Everything that she senses, everything that she feels, touches, leaves this tingling sensation of almost joy as she runs.
You go ahead and run, pat, 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 pat. You fly. You literally fly. That's how fast you're going. You go ahead and sprint. You sprint. The ground, the snow, it doesn't bother you. You continue to fly, 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 fly. Your body is sleek. Your body is designed to run quickly. All four of your legs moving in tandem, one after the other. Step, 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 until you stop. Because there's a curious, curious scent here. There are actually two. One is a collection. One is a very, very small collection. It's a smell that you're familiar with, the smell of blood. And it's the smell of urine. And it's the smell of a litter. And towards the other end, there is, well, there's that prey smell. There's that food smell. You'd have to hunt it down, but you could do it. But there's also that litter smell. And you're starting to hear some small little mewings, actually.
She she stops. She's kind of torn between the two scents. Um, she she focuses on the litter, takes a few steps in that direction. She feels a strong urge to protect that, but in order to protect it, she needs to be able to feed it. And there's the other scent, and it's exciting, and it's calling out to her. So she stops and then goes into the direction of the hunt, towards the prey.
Go ahead and do so. You begin to stalk the prey. You've done this more than once. You realize that you've done this so many times before, it's more textbook, it's more academic at the moment. Not that these words mean anything to you at the moment, it's just this is the way of things. This is how the world is. This is how nature intended you to be. This is how the world should be. As you continue to stalk your prey, you come upon it very, very easily. It is, well, for lack of a better term, it's a boar, it's a hog. It's something that's easy to get at to. You just need to strike it. And you strike it quick enough. If you strike it and you surprise it. Now, that's the important thing that's currently going through your head. It's dark. It can't see you. You have to sneak up on it. If you sneak up on it and you pounce it quick, it'll never run. You don't have to chase it. What do you do?
Mm, she'll decide to. She puts her head in the air, kind of sniffing, sensing from what direction the wind is coming from, and making sure that she's going into the opposite direction, sneaking, circling around this boar, and tries to approach it as silently as she can. She wants to go for a clean kill. There is, after all, a litter that she has to protect, that she has to feed.
You come in from the side where your scent will not be detected. You come in very, very close to the boar. You hide in the bushes, and before the poor creature even knows what's happening, you've already pounced, snapped your jaws into its neck, ripped it apart, and killed it cleanly.
Sorry. Um, she as she bites into it, she feels the warm blood of the creature kind of pouring over her jaws, over her face, her snout. She she tastes the meat and the fur. It's kind of bristly fur. She just bites through. For a moment, there is nothing but red in front of her eyes, because she knows that the victory is there, and she can feel the blood. This bloodlust kind of echoes through her entire body, and she shakes her head a few times, making sure that the boar is properly killed before she releases it. And she'll throw her head back, kind of in a moment of victory, and then starts to um, starts to drag the boar into the direction of the litter.
From the direction of the litter, you hear a howl. The composition of the howl, it's one more of mourning than anything else. It's not one of hostility, it's not one of territory, it's simply one of loss.
At that, she stops. She stops dead in her tracks, and then leaves the boar where it is and starts running back towards the litter. There's something wrong there, and that's why didn't she notice that before?
For your instincts, you realize that you did. There was blood. Blood should not be where the litter is. Not that fresh blood.
She'll realize that now, and just run as fast as she can.
You sprint, you fly, you are one with the forest again. You fly through the woods again, again, again. And the scene that you find yourself is the opening of a little bit of a den. And inside that den, you hear the mewling. You hear the mewling of several pups, actually. And you hear another, more adult growl go through. From the den, you see a wolf come out. Its fur its fur is white, but it drapes over brown and gray colors. It's not your fur. It doesn't come from your heritage. It's probably a mutt of some sort, but it's currently coming out of the den, and it's got its teeth barred at you.
She'll she'll lower herself to the ground a little more. She's not backing down. She's stepping a few steps, but lowers herself.
Goes ahead and growls at you, and there's the silent communication, roll over.
She hesitates for a moment, but then rolls over, bowing
Goes
her
ahead
head.
and it goes ahead and trounces towards you, goes ahead and dominates you a little bit, bars its teeth at your nape of your neck, going, grrr. Do you know what happened?
Shakes her head.
Sort of backs off. My
She'll
mate was to hunt. She came back bloody.
she'll lay down on the ground for a couple more seconds and then slowly coming back to her feet again. Litter?
Accounted for.
Good. Mate?
Dead.
How?
Big bear.
And she realizes that she made a mistake at this point. How could she have been so stupid? She'll roll over again. I wasn't here. My fault.
He goes ahead and trances over you again and goes ahead and brings his teeth to your neck. Why you say that? You come from here? Was that your mate? No, that was mine. Was that your litter? No, that was mine.
I smelled blood. I didn't come. Didn't help.
Then help now.
How?
They're hungry.
Food. She'll she'll run back to the boar, and she'll continue to drag it towards the litter, towards the den.
This time you're not met with such hostility. This time when you're actually bearing something for the litter, the male goes ahead and lets you in. He goes ahead and lets you in as you're dragging the boar. And from inside, you hear soft little mews, little cubs actually go ahead and start to trounce up. They don't seem very old, actually. If maybe a week, if a day. No, excuse me, that doesn't really make any sense. No, not
No.
young pups. No, 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 no. These are pups that are just being weaned off. These are pups that are being weaned off of the mother's milk and are starting to try much more solid foods. That makes more sense.
Yeah. she'll she'll drag the boar in front of the cubs, and she'll bite open the belly of the boar. Then rips off the meat, chews on it, and then lets it drop in front of the cubs so that they can eat.
The hungry pups go ahead and start to devour. They go into the intestine, they go ahead and drag out organs and limbs. They go ahead and fight over scraps of bone, take quite greedily from the meat that you regurgitate. And they seem quite content and quite satisfied.
She'll help the cubs as long as they need it, and then she'll walk back out.
When you return to the mouth of the den, you see that same male, but he seems to have something strange on his face. They look like rose-tinted glasses, actually.
Um, for a moment, that just doesn't fit her the mindset of her, well, for dreams and for visions. Then she'll let's see. She realized, no, she doesn't even realize it. She'll she'll stare at it, shake her head. What happened to your eyes?
My eyes. He goes ahead and looks from the side to side, sort of brushes his muzzle and his snout against the snow. You notice that these strange glasses stay with him. They're not knocked off. No matter what this wolf does, they are not knocked off in any way, shape, or form. They stay on his face.
She'll stretch out a paw, try to take them off.
You only tried that trick once, as this wolf goes ahead and sort of pounces at you with his own claws. Like, yeah!
She'll take a few steps back. She's very confused. She doesn't really understand the meaning of these pink reddish things in front of his eyes.
The male will go ahead and start to circle you, actually, just a little bit. New moon?
She looked up to the sky. Yeah.
The wolf will actually go ahead and start to scratch at your feet. No, you.
Don't know.
Goes ahead and continues to waft around you. Start to smell you. Maybe you. Me gibbous.
Hmm. She'll acknowledge this. Where's here?
Here. Here.
Where's your pack?
Left. Went with mate. Mate gone. Look after cubs for a few seasons, then leave.
You can't without a pack. You need a pack.
You offering?
Don't have a pack. Two doesn't make a pack. Too few.
Hmm,
Can't protect cubs.
that might be a question that we get to later, Miss Cinnamon Harris.
What?
You asked where here was. That's a very, very strange question for a wolf, don't you think? Wolf never really cares where he is. What he cares about is, well, landmarks. What he cares is where the rivers are, where the plains are, where the forest is, where the prey hide, where the birds go, where the mountain is, where it is rocky, where it is flat.
I'm not a wolf.
Oh, really?
Cinna stands there and scratches her head. She's like, no, no. What? Al- Alan, again,
Again, with what?
why are you doing this?
Why am I doing this? Why are you doing this?
Why are you in my dreams?
Why are you in my dreams?
I'm not in your dreams.
Are you sure? Have you ever done it before?
No, I don't know. No.
I don't think you. I don't think you're at the level of freak out that you should be, ma'am.
I totally am. I'm not in your dream. This is. What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm studying in front of Alan Stewart, the child of Gaia that you do know, the child of Gaia with rose-tinted glasses. He has a humongous book on his desk. All around you, you see the shelving of a library. Off in the corner, you actually see the blood and gore of some type of amalgamation, a fish shark amalgamation that was probably half man, half shark at some point. And at the other end of the corridor, you notice, you still hear that mewing, that very, very satisfying mewing of a den of cubs.
Fine, I'll play along. What are you studying?
I'm studying a few different people, well, I should say I've been assigned to look into a few different names, although I think I'm just being played at the moment.
You're just being what?
I'm being played, I'm being manipulated. Don't really know, don't really care.
I know.
The person who gave me the assignment, obviously.
Oh, who gave you the fucking assignment?
Not sure that you should know.
It's a dream. I mean, why wouldn't you tell? Well, why wouldn't you tell me? I mean, it's a dream. We solve things, and then we wake up and we continue. So,
Okay, how about this? I'm looking into a woman who lives in a neighboring sept, actually. I should say who used to live in a neighboring sept. She's currently dead at the moment.
a sept can die.
No, 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 no. A woman can die.
Oh, okay. Well, what's her name?
Her name? Well, she used to go by Somber Echoes. Used to
Okay.
be one of my own tribe, actually. That's why I'm very interested in this case. They say that she died for love, which makes this case even more interesting for me.
What was the name? It's a weird name.
It's a deed name.
Ah.
Makes sense?
What's her real name? Because if you're here in my dream, then you want something from me. If you want my help, I need to know more.
Fair enough, fair enough. if you really want to help me, I've got a few other names that need to be looked into. Tell me, do you have any in with internship programs, especially internship programs related to the medical healthcare field? Mental healthcare field, excuse me.
Mental, well, no, not really. I mean, I'm journalist. I can make some contacts. I mean, there's this woman, and I only met her once, and that was really random, so I'm not really sure if I can pull a lot of strings, but she's a psychiatrist.
Tell me about her.
It's kind of weird. She actually was really weird. Um, I was at this exhibit, shooting pictures for their brochure, and found this really weird statue, and she kind of creates the statue in her dream. And a very big, towering over you statue of a Fomori. And eyes seem to be following you wherever you go in the room.
Alan's actually going to get up from his desk, walk over to the statue, and examine it. Do you have any other details, like really, really obvious details?
Mm, she'll actually, if you do that, Senna will point out a few glyphs that are inscribed in the statue. And I know it is. I know you can roll either occult or. Yeah, no, you can roll occult for the name of the Fomori, but I don't know the name by heart. You should poke Vinny about that.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Alan, for this moment, is just going to go ahead and take a mental picture. Actually, he's going to go ahead and take a dream version of his own Polaroid camera, take a shot of it, put it into his pocket. Thank you.
If you want pictures of it, I have it.
That's right, you are a photographer.
Gee,
Hey, it's been a while, okay?
you should know after the Hudson Project.
No, I remember that. I remember that project. It was very, very good. We did a lot of good
In
work.
the
You did a lot of
distance,
good
you
work.
can hear the river kind of streaming.
In the distance, the river goes ahead and starts to. Yes, it does run, because this is the nature of dreams.
Mhm.
Somebody is getting it now.
um, but she also points out the symbols, their glyphs. Um, Apparently, those are I recognize them from some of the lessons that Mr. Morninghill gave me and Rowan's kin gave me. These are Garou glyphs.
Mm, that's awesome. Describe the woman to me.
Yeah, sorry. She'll she'll stay silent for a moment, and then she'll start with actually darkening the surroundings as almost to a point where it's almost a pitch dark night. You can still see. What you see is a white stick with some red around it. She came up for me like from behind. I didn't hear her coming. Really, she scared the fuck out of me.
That's a
Um,
cane.
it's a walk. Yeah, it's a stick. She was blind. Slowly, she'll start to um, form the image of the red-haired woman that she met there.
Hmm.
The really weird thing was that she could sense me. You know?
Smell you out?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fairly awesome. Alan's gonna go ahead and walk around the dream figure that you've just created. Simply say, did she identify herself? And what
Yeah,
she identify as?
she said she was a Ronin.
Okay. What was her name?
Choice.
Joyce Rook.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. This is something that I was not told about, which is disconcerting for me.
Why?
I'm sure that you're not as familiar with the laws of the nation as I am, but what do you know about Ronin?
They are Garu that left the nation because they did not agree with the litany. They're basically independent acting without not. I don't know. That's what she said. Something like that.
Yeah.
Please. She wasn't agreeing with the litany. She was part of the sept at one point.
Yeah. There are a few different reasons that Garu is removed from the nation. They can either self-exile, they can be cast out, or they can betray the nation so terribly and horribly that they're simply ran out with the force of arms and the deadly threat.
Okay. She left herself.
Fair enough.
At least that's what she said. Because she broke the litany. But she didn't agree with it. Which kind of made sense.
There are several different interpretations of the litany. What reasoning that she did she give you?
She has a Garu mate.
And
She's a Garu herself.
and
That part of the litany was broken, therefore, but she disagreed on it since they were both women, so there was no chance that a Metis would be born out of their relationship. But they were still kicked out. Or she still left, something like that, because I don't know, she didn't really say whether she left or whether she was kicked out. I assumed she left. She said she missed it, Central Park.
say that again.
She said she missed Central Park.
Alan sort of stops for a second. In that she has been there before.
That was the impression she gave, yeah? Or
Fair
maybe it's
enough.
just the sept lives that she hinted at, you know. We were in a public space, so couldn't really talk that. I mean, it was silently enough, and there was no one around, so we could kind of talk openly, but still.
How long did she pursue this conversation?
I don't know, I think we talked half an hour or something.
Did she make any inclination that she would want to speak with you again?
Yeah, she didn't seem to mind. She said that I should drop by the wellness center where she's working at some point.
Don't do that.
Why not?
She is Ronin.
So?
When you are a Ronin, you are set aside. You are cast out. You are ostracized from the nation, from interacting with Garu, from interacting with any kin, and sometimes this ostracism even extends to spirits, although I've only seen it in one or two cases.
But it's not fair. I mean, to be honest, I was. No, never mind.
Go ahead.
If she was banned, it's a bullshit reason. Seriously.
That is what I'm working against at the moment. At the moment, I have heard a few different stories about this Ronin. and I'm trying to ascertain whether or not there is any truthfulness to any of it.
Okay,
And
what did you hear?
I heard of her name.
Hmm.
I've heard of a sept that she went ahead and frequented before she was ostracized, and I have heard the reasons for her ostracism. At this moment, I am figuring out the truthfulness of all of this. I'm not willing to take any information I'm given at face value. I'm looking for third party sources. Myself, as a child of the unicorn, we the children guy have more progressive, some would say liberal, some would say hippie interpretation of litany. And certain septs through the nation are more inclined to our interpretation of litany. I'm not saying that the Sept of the Green is as progressive or as liberal as my tribe, or certain aspects or certain septs of my tribe. I'm just saying that there are options available to her, as well as her lover, to come back into the nation. But that 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 can only be done
Hmm.
with through the proper channels. That can be only done if she doesn't rouse many tensions. That can only be done if I am able to find a patron for her. Her reaching out to the kin of the Sept of the Green is not good for her. That doesn't look good for her record.
She didn't reach out to me. I mean, honestly, I think we bumped into each other.
I know that, and I can believe that. But her inviting you back to the wellness center tells me that she would want to have an extended conversation and perhaps a simple, friendly relationship with you, which she is currently denied.
Well, if you really want to know truths and everything, I mean, I see your point. If she could reach out to friendlier septs, why didn't she do so? Why did she choose to stay a Ronin? Right?
Some would say it is simply a matter of pride, and I can understand that. At this moment, I'm trying to ascertain all the stories that she has given me, and I'm going to try to appeal to her, not only her, but the reason she left the nation to begin with.
Hmm. So use me.
I will, but probably not in the way that you want me to.
Well, I'm kind of a journalist. It's not really I'm a photographer, but I did some I did study journalism for a year or so, and I sometimes do small interviews and stuff. I mean, I interviewed the apes in Wall Street. That was insane. I can help.
I know you can, and I want you to. There are certain things that I need you to follow up on. Some busy work, some paperwork. That's where I need you at the moment.
Oh, come on. That's so boring.
It's what I'm willing to give you in order to help me.
Fine.
Awesome. There are two doctors currently in a relationship in the wellness center. There is the Dr. Joyce Rourke, and then there is a Dr. Sarah Black. I wish for you to get any public documentation on their education and their doctorate, what kind of thesis where they were working with, and yada yada yada, that kind of thing. Work on a
Sarah Black.
profile for both of them.
Okay. Check. Black.
Uh,
Interesting name.
yeah, Sarah Black. Yeah, I know. Um, I need you to do this as subtly as possible, and I do not want you to dip your hand. I do not want you to show yourself. I do not want that at all. Anything that's public and easy to get at.
I'll do a Google search. You can do a lot with simply a Google search. And from
Hmm.
there on, I don't know. I have some contacts in the media. I can always see whether they won like prestigious prizes, and from there on can find something more about their background information probably.
Awesome. You're going to be working with a time scale of about 10 to 5 years, I believe. That is the point in which they went ahead and left the nation to pursue their own careers, that being the medical field, mental health field, excuse me.
Hmm.
Also,
Travis told me he visited her as his psychiatrist. By the way,
tell me about that then.
um, I met with Travis basically because she mentioned him um, during the conversation, and I wanted to know because she said that he was hating her. And she didn't really know why, and I was wondering why. So I asked him, and he said that he didn't really hate her, but that he had followed a therapy session with her at some point.
Alan sort of stops for a second. Did they go into any detail?
He just said that he was at a bad place at that point in time, and she didn't say anything, not about what they were discussing. And to be honest, I never really pried into that because, well, therapy is not something that you usually go into big detail about.
Alright. The one thing I'll ask you to do is I'll ask you to try to keep this case as close as possible. I mean, I would go ahead and say grab one of the Glasswalkers or even Emmett, preferably Emmett actually, but I don't want any more leaks of information. I want to keep this as close as possible. So while it may be fantastic and awesome to have a hacker around with the skill of Emmett, I don't want you to do that.
Hmm. Okay, that's cool. I'm just gonna see what I can find out with my own rudimentary computer skills and my contacts in the media. Dr. Mega, maybe? Think about him.
I didn't actually think about him. I'm not sure how much I can trust him at the moment, at least with this. I mean, fantastic member of SEP, fantastic citizen of the nation, but I don't know if I want to involve him in this case quite yet.
He's
Maybe if something
poisoned.
interesting comes out from your investigations.
Did you know, by the way, he's in the hospital at the moment?
I'm not currently on the sept.
Well, neither am I.
Why are you not on the sept?
Because I'm not. I'm sleeping.
I know, but what I mean, I'm not on the sept. I'm not in the city.
Oh, why are you not in the city? Where are you?
I, I'm I'm following up. I am following up on the information that Miss Joyce gave me. I'm actually doing the legwork because nobody fucking did. I'm actually quite pissed off about this, but
Oh,
this
I'm
gives me
sorry.
a chance to go ahead and visit some colder climates, so I'm not really all that plussed.
Oh, that explains the snow. She looks
No,
around.
no, that's you.
Oh, there's snow now.
Okay, now the entire library is covered in snow. Awesome.
Yep.
You know, this place gets more fucking cluttered the more I use it.
Sorry. So what is this library then? Is this your head?
This is like an amalgamation of things. It's some place I found and I'm currently digging out, and I just kept using. I think the library came from one of my tribe mates. So did, and he points to the desiccated corpse of what you would recognize as a fucking Rokia. I think that came from her as
Mhm.
well. Walking over to the den. That is you. That is you all the way.
I, why would I be a den? Or I, yeah, whatever. I don't get it, but sure.
You are a wolf. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the first time I had this dream. It's the first time there was a den with a litter in it, but
Okay, that might be me. Don't really know. At this moment, there is a loud and cacophony, rebel-rousing, drunken Irish music goes ahead and plays. It's very, very punk rock. At which point, Alan just goes ahead and covers his ears. Yep, and that's me.
Oh man, what's that?
That's fucking Brian.
Uh,
Guy rest his soul. Bring him to his ancestors. But god damn, that's loud.
he was loud. It's so weird to. I mean, he wasn't around very long, but still, it's so weird that people are just snatched away like that, and everybody just continues. In a sense, I mean, sure, people miss him, but it's just weird. I haven't really seen him that much. Still, still bad. Really is.
But why aren't you unsept?
Because I'm at the mansion.
Why are you still bidding there?
Well, all of a sudden it just becomes like a lot warmer in the room. Um, I'm just because there wasn't really any place else I wanted to go. Um, at this point, you see a backpack, and there is clothing spilling out. It just falls on the floor and just keeps spilling and spilling, and so then it kind of starts pushing everything back in the backpack and zipping it up, slinging it over her shoulder.
Alan's gonna go ahead and take off his jacket and start to fan himself. God damn.
Sorry, that's me.
So, goddamn, where are you sleeping? Is like fucking huge covers. Do you have the heater on? Why would you do that? It's not even. It's not even outside of August. Why in the world do you have the heater on in bed?
I don't. Um, I'm sweating, I guess. Give me a moment. She tries to focus to bring the temperature down in the dream. Then finally decides, you know what, fuck it. And a bucket appears above her head, has ice water in it as it tumbles down on top of her and drops. Oh god, that's cold. I needed a cold shower.
Fair enough.
She'll wipe the wet hair out of her face, and as she does so, it dries immediately again, and her clothing don't seem to be wet at all. Sorry, at that point there is a flash of silver fangs just shooting through the dream, and then it's gone again.
Okay. In any case, got a text from Leah about a man named Chester. Do you know him?
No?
Fuck. Okay, fair enough.
Why?
He's one of my kinfolk that is currently suffering and being plagued by terrible, terrible, awful dreams because of the negligence of the Sept of the Green and securing the secondary Karen.
Okay, anything I can do?
Check for Leah.
Okay, will do.
Actually, how is Leah?
Busy.
I imagine.
She's pushing the image of Travis away that just pops up right next to her. She's like, go.
I can imagine.
I'm sorry.
Shit happens.
Are you okay?
I'm focusing on this right now. Says, pointing at the Fomori statue and also the figurine of Joyce that seems to gotten a little bit of a life of its own. It's like breathing. Not really doing much but that.
Okay. Well, if there's anything I can do, I know we're not best friends, but I like you anyway.
That's bull.
If there's anything I can do for you, let me know, okay?
You are like the 20th person to say that, but I do not think I will ever call upon any of you for help.
Well, I don't care. The offer is there.
Oh, that's awesome. I have the offer. Fantastic.
Come on, Alan. The fact that there are 20 people who are saying that means that they care about you.
Meh.
So don't meh me. Just accept help.
No. Never.
Why not? Why are you being stubborn?
Mostly I'm being obstinate for the sake of being obstinate.
You're a Galliard. You know you can't. You know enough stories, I guess, of people who try to run without a pack. Stop trying to run without a pack.
I also know the lies that we tell ourselves.
And those are.
There was once a Galliard that is currently praised all throughout the nation for being so clever and having the fortitude to withstand so much suffering. It's a lie. She was not clever. She was actually quite foolish. And she didn't have no fortitude. They went easy on her. But they told the story as such because it played better.
Makes sense. Always look for the truth behind a story, but still, you wouldn't be running in packs for the last how many years Great Nation exists without there being a reason why you guys. Seriously, if you look at wolves, if you look at people, which you're both wolf and human, and both of them are group creatures. So they need to be able to rely on their friends and the people that are close to them. So I'm not saying that you should necessarily come to me, but go to the people that are close to you.
Tell me, how old do you think anybody in the sept is? Any Garu you see? How old?
I don't know. I know Callie isn't that old. I know Mr. Morningkill is a bit older. I haven't really seen anyone, I guess, above 40. Except maybe Mother L.
Mm-hmm. They're exceptions to the rule. They went ahead and made themselves crazy in a special way to continue existing. Now, the majority of the nation, Leafs, Ostern, Cubs, very young. Very young. They have not gone through years of this quite yet. I can imagine they've gone through suffering. I can imagine they've gone through war. But at this point in time, I am slightly old, and I am feeling it. And I guess I'm burnt out. Story's got to end sometime. I know that much.
And why? Why are you saying that? You're planning. Don't do anything foolish. People are dying here without them doing anything foolish. Seriously, be you. If you really want to do anything foolish, I think I have an idea. I was planning to propose it to Blitzkrieg. I might as well propose it to you. But if you really want to. But why would you? Well, it seems like you're looking to end your life. Why would you do that?
Story has to end sometime.
Not all stories have to end in violence.
Some of the best ones do. Of course, those could just be lies. I don't know. You don't. I don't think many people understand. We, my pack, never expected to make this far. Never really expected to make it to this season or the next season afterwards. We banded together to fight one thing. That was the Storm Eater. We fought long, hard, till our very, very last breaths, until the air got choked out of us due to the corruption aspect of the Storm Eater. A number of us fell due to just sheer fucking exhaustion, terror, disease, illness. And I can tell you, Roach's resilience was still recovering a month afterwards.
Who?
Zeke.
Ah,
We kind of screwed that one up, didn't we?
who? Zeke?
No, our story. We expected our story to end there. It didn't.
Okay, Alan. If you, I don't think your story should end like this. Not this way. Not willingly. If you still want that, if you still want to do something that might be silly enough, if you still want your story to end like this, and if you're back, meet me in person. I may have an idea.
What's your proposal? What's your idea?
That's something to do with a certain Black Spiral dancer.
Which one?
The big one.
Rins?
Mm.
Actually, scratch that. I don't think I know that name. Unless Senna knows it.
I think Sina has heard of it by now. I'm not quite sure.
Okay, fair enough. You guys ahead and
You know
correct
what?
me.
Let's just leave it at the fact that she'll say the one that I contacted back then. Remember?
Jason Woods.
Yeah.
What other names do you go by? I wrote them down. Hold on. Alan goes ahead and manifests a little bit of a document to himself. A little bit of a notepad. Okay. What is his name? What is his name? What is his name? No, those are notes about how to run a cleanup. No, this is somebody else's task. Oh yeah, that never got done. That was a pretty good story. Okay. Aliases of Jason Woods recovered from Cinna's apartment tape, also known as John Spiral, also known as David Black. and in the background you can hear a lot of the videotape being played back, including the parts where the apartment was crashed into, and some otherworldly things that sound like guttural grunting.
What was the name of the partner of Joyce?
Sarah Black.
What was the name that you mentioned last? Jason
David
Wood.
Black.
Exactly.
I wonder if you'll be able to find that name. I wonder if you'll find David Black's name in Sarah Black's history.
Well, I'm gonna look out for that.
Good call. Good call. So what was your idea?
Very simple. I still have the phone number. Can lure him in a trap. Set me as the bait. Apparently, I'm interesting enough.
You have a ton of good stock to you. Remember the last time that you called that number? He himself did not come, but he sent his minions to try to take you.
Yeah, but then I was only trying to gain some information.
Oh, okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna give yourself up. Just plainly, just up. Just call him up. Say, I'm tired of the nation. Come and take me away to your infernal powers.
I don't even know what he's capable of, really. Not really, but I can always see if I can lure him into talking to me face to face, making an appointment. I can blow. I have this horn. She holds up her hand, and in the hand you see the kinfolk horn. So I can call you. It's easy. You'll know where to find me.
Hmm. Who else has heard about this insane plan?
No one.
Ah, excellent. So I guess you already know the rant I'm going to give you.
I know it's stupid, and I really know it is. And I'm not saying that we don't need to hammer out more details, but it's a basic idea. We're all sick and tired of that guy. He killed our people. I don't want. I'm not looking forward to dying or anything, but it's crazy enough and it's simple enough. Sometimes simple plans are the best. And as I said, I'm not saying that this is the end plan, but I'm saying it's the beginning of a plan.
Definitely the beginning of the plan, but just do me a favor and don't fire it off until I'm done with you. And don't let anybody else talk you into it or too early. Although I imagine several people will be trying to talk you out of it. I won't. I'd find it hilarious.
Why you think it's hilarious?
Don't know. I think I'm getting the madness. I'm thinking I'm getting Snow's madness, actually.
Well, sometimes, as I said, sometimes she just needs a little crazy nose. I don't know. It is a stupid idea. It is really a stupid idea. I've been trying to talk myself out of it, but
Hey, we all gotta make our risks, and we all gotta do our paperwork, and we all gotta make sure that the people at our back aren't secretly manipulating us into a trap for their own benefit.
I would not do that.
You say that. Wait a few years. Wait a few years, and you see this bright-eyed young soul come up to you and say, "I want to help." And the only way you know how to use him, because he's a terrible fighter, terrible, terrible, shitty fighter. The only way that you know to make him useful is to send him to a beach and tell him to mingle. And then he says stupid things to get himself caught.
That what happened to you?
Once. Never again.
I'm sorry for you.
It was a learning experience.
Guess so. I won't say that people never try to manipulate me. I won't say that they never succeeded. I just don't like that. I prefer to call people out. Mm. It's an idea. I'm not. I'll give it some more thought. I mean, this is not the entire. This is just the basics. I mean, I think I can hold someone for a few rounds. You know, a few seconds, few minutes, maybe even. Just need to find a way to blow that horn without him actually, And then I would need to wait for you guys, which might be dangerous. Hmm.
Think about it like this, Miss Cinnamon. The walls of the library are starting to crash down, actually. It seems as if time is very, very fleeting at this very, very moment. Think about this. Crash, 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 crash. Sunlight goes ahead and starts to spray across the room, searing everything, pretty much scorching it, burning it. Think about this. If you're able to set up a trap, do it well. You have all the time in the world to set up as many traps as possible. You don't have to fight if you can run. Run to a safe place and distract him. He'll be hitting on the walls of your prison while the rest of us are able to get back there. Bad traps. You're not fucking responsible. Shit just sometimes happens. And at that moment, the dream fades. Dream fades, rather fiery actually, as both Alan and the landscape just sort of burn away. And you become more cognizant of where you are at the moment.
And Cinna will probably wake up in her bed in Monikill's mansion. She sits up, looking around. Wow. She'll she'll actually get out of bed, write a few quick notes about what she had to look up. Then puts the block note back in her backpack again and lays down on the bed. We can end scene.
Thank you, watchers, for watching. Thank you, players, for playing. We will go ahead and see you all next time. Until then, later.